Hey, good morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquint, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and welcome to Tuesday. Welcome back, Phoenix. How you doing? By the way, I apologize, Phoenix. That was a miscommunication, pretty much on my part. I don't read at the highest level. Just to let everybody know, both stations are closed Friday for New Year's. Phoenix, again, KXXT, will also be closed this next Monday as well. They're doing the long weekend thing. Who knows? Hopefully they're paying them, and it's just not a ploy to close the station another day and not pay their employees, because obviously owned by Salem, a huge radio station. But they are closed. Phoenix is closed Friday and Monday. And in fairness, Ramon did send me an email that said that they're closed Friday through Monday, and I kind of thought, oh, well, it's Friday and they'll be reopened Monday. It's actually not what he said. But, of course, as I was making those announcements all last week, I made a mistake. So welcome back to Phoenix. There you go. As always, I'm joined with my partner, Jason. By the way, Phoenix, you can always go to 1360khnc.com and stream our show live on your phone or what have you. Just can't get it through your radio if you want to tune in on Monday. Ramon's is doing the podcast, so you can always podcast it later and get the show that way. As always, I'm joined with my partner, Jason. Jason, good morning. How you doing, man?
I'm doing really good. Just talked to the Liberty Volt guys on their way out the door, and it's quite the job. Almost 4 years ago, I joined up with you to do a radio show and sell gold, and then the radio station came along with it, and in a whole new world that I never.
That was not part of the plan.
That was not part of the plan, but
was not part of the
who really says, hey, I'm going to deliver pizzas for years, or I'm going to be a processor, or who really makes the you don't know that stuff's going to happen. You just kind of go with what life throws at you,
Yeah, it has been quite the interesting time. We got 4 years. Holy cow! Where does all the time go? I remember, this was going to be a part-time thing, Jason.
Yes. By the way,
a few days a week.
I heard you on two. It was only 2/2s. I heard you on 2/2 of 18. So
well, there you
that's
go.
when you threw your offer
up
out
on it. By the way, metals plans are rolling. Made the announcement yesterday. Of course, Phoenix didn't hear that. All the metals plans are rolling. We'll be done sometime next week. So, but they are on their way. If you want to sign up, January starts the new quarter, and it's a great program because we pool all the money together. We buy at the best prices possible, and man, this thing is. You should see it. I just kind of laugh now. It's so it is a really, really big plan now. It's got its own separate filing system and filing cabinets, and it's a great way to buy gold and silver and just be on a quarterly delivery program. Go out to allamericangold.com, click the metals icon. You can read about it there, or you can call us here at 800-951-0592.
And Joe, let me comment about the metals plan too. I think the growth of the metals program really shows something very specific, which is trust in Patriot Trading Group. Because a lot of people know gold and silver, they know the coins we're selling, and they know what they're doing, they know a good price. But a lot of people, they've listened to the show for years, they're convinced they have to do this, but they don't want to have to try to figure it out. They trust Patriot Trading Group, and they just send the money in, and we give them the best deal. I think the fact that it's growing so fast, Joe, it just shows a trust in what we do.
Yeah, and we do it right, and that's all. The biggest part of it is we make sure you're getting the best products at the best prices, and it's a lot of fun too, because it's allowed us to do a lot of different things inside of the program as well, and provide great value, and that's really the name of the game. And it allows everyone to participate. That's the part I liked about it the most. When we originally did it, we did a version of the metals plan, and I want to say, I don't know, maybe 05, 06, something like that. And it was $50. It was $50 a month. Because now, silver was like $5,
Right.
gold wasn't even $400 yet. Now the minimum is $100. And even that, can be challenging, in itself, but it's something where this thing, has taken on a whole, life of its own, and it's really been a great program. And the more people that are in it, really, honestly, the deals only get better, right? The bigger the program is, the more deals we can buy, the more things we can take advantage of, and of course, at the end of the day, the cheaper we can provide the products to everybody out there. So take advantage of that, 800-951-0592. By the way, when we get back, Joe Biden making an announcement about mandates and who's going to have the power here. And I'm hoping, I'm going to say that I'm going to view it as a positive. We'll tell you about that. We had some economic data out today, home prices continuing to surge as the central bank continues to pretend like they're not. We'll tell you where all of that is happening, as well, unfortunately, I'll give you the updates. Prices continuing to rise. Crude oil today having another big day, getting back closer to that $80 a barrel. That and so much more. Don't touch that dial.
It's He-Man. He-Man, I have the power. Joe Biden, right?
Wow, a little He-Man there to start the morning. Yeah, so somebody woke Joe Biden up and said, "Hey, maybe it's time to back off a little bit here." And is saying that now the president is now saying it's going to be up to the states to decide what to do about the virus, saying that there is no federal solution. So I'm taking that, Jason, as, hey, I'm not going to use executive orders for a vaccine mandate. That's what I'm reading into what the president said last night.
It just makes him seem like he's such a team player. Yeah, I'm not gonna overpower your state. You guys do what you want. It's such a joke, Joe. Because why do I have the feeling like on the back end in the secret email, he's like, by the way, do what I want. I'm going to yank some funding. Why is it? That's the first thing that pops in my brain.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet. Now, of course, I was wondering where that's been the whole time. But then again, some people are just speculating that he's not going to force a shutdown. So I may be overreading into it and saying, hey, he's not going to do a vaccine mandate, an executive order. But then again, he may solely just been, we're going to get, and everyone knows this, the variant, the Omicron, we're going to get the big spike.
It's funny how
the big spike.
Joe, it's funny how the politicians back off now because we have the Supreme Court. If they let OSHA push the over 100 employees, all the politicians are like, well, you could do what you want, but we can't control what OSHA does. Why do I feel like that's what they're setting up for?
Well, see, Jason's trying to ruin my positive message, and he's probably right is the problem. This is probably more about, hey, I'm not going to issue a shutdown. And less about the vaccines. And to Jason's point, we got the big Supreme Court ruling here coming up, probably in the next 2 weeks here. We're going to have an answer on that as well. But nonetheless, at least for right now, he's going to let the states decide what they want to do, which is, the blue states are going to be more towards, lockdowns and masks and things like that. The red states are going to go the other way. And the realities are, I don't think it makes a darn bit of difference New York and Florida, let's use those two. They're both spiking, right? And just like they've always have from the beginning, I don't know that any of this stuff really matters. But neither here nor there, at least for now, no shutdowns. We'll see if it's really good news on mandates and things of that nature. But that was kind of driving the market there for a little while. I think the market was taking my point of view and now has shifted to Jason's point of view. The NASDAQ just went negative. Gold is up, silver is up. But the Wall Street is split right now. But here's the big thing. Listen, none of that matters. I mean, it does. I shouldn't say it doesn't matter. It does matter, but it's all about inflation. They can deflect. They can say all these things. We got problems coming. And already, listen, all of you that were out there shopping for Christmas, you know, grocery bills are skyrocketing. And I've been warning you. Jason's been warning you. You haven't even seen the big price increases. You're going to see them. And here they come. A new wave of supermarket price hikes is expected to begin in January, raising prices anywhere, look at this thing, from 2 to 20%. And why do I get the feeling that very few products are going to be at the 2%, and the vast majority of them are going to be closer to the 20%? They're saying items from pasta, condiments, soups, cookie, produce, dairy, meats. Did we miss a section? I don't think we did. I think we pretty much got the entire supermarket there. Soaring inflation up 6.8% as of November, the highest rate in 39 years, showing no signs of a slowdown. And I told this, if you listened, you knew this was coming. Kraft Heinz. So remember last week we did P&G. P&G just said, listen, we're raising prices again. Matter of fact, I'm not going to come out here every quarter and tell you about price hikes. I'm just telling you, we're raising prices all year. That P&G just said, listen, we're just raising them all year. And it's going to start in January. Kraft Heinz. They own Oscar Mayer, as an example. Kraft macaroni and cheese. Jell-O pudding, right? And it's so funny. We see all of these different labels, but yet really there's only like 4 or 5 companies that control about probably 80% of the entire store. You got Procter & Gamble, you got, General Mills, you got Kraft, right? They really comprise most of the store. They told retailers it's planning on raising prices by as much as 20%. They said that the average price increase is going to be at a minimum 5%. Adding that products like Grey Poupon mustard, the fancy mustard. Now that's just going to go up by 13%. They're saying that production costs have risen 22%. Mondelez International, which is that's your snack aisle, by the way. That's your Oreo cookies, Ritz crackers. Hey, they're saying we're going to increase prices by 6 to 7% in January.
Joe, the Wienermobile just got more expensive.
Oh, by the way, we're going to have more prices later, Jason.
Yeah, the Wienermobile got more expensive. I mean, even the gas to drive that thing around is more expensive.
The gas to get in the Wienermobile, right?
Advertising costs are probably getting inflated too. The commercials. Why do I feel like the Super Bowl commercials have hit new highs, Joe?
In the supermarkets, they have they call it the scan coordinator. And their job is to hang all the prices on the shelf. And so once a week they put up the ads, and they got to come in early in the morning, take all the old ad prices off, put on the new ad prices. If there's price changes on the products, they're in charge. Why do I get the feeling they are going to be severely overworked in the month of January? Because everywhere I'm seeing, I don't know that a single item in the entire store isn't going to get more expensive because all Campbell's soup, announcing that all of their products are going up in January. We already talked about Procter & Gamble. I mean, we've covered the entire store. Kroger saying that they are trying their best to push back, but said ultimately at the end of the day, prices are going to have to go up. How about this one? UPS, you know, the ones that were delivering all the Christmas goodies, says January 3rd, we're raising prices again. They're saying that surcharge levels on domestic air and ground services, so that's the only services they offer, by the way. So when you ship UPS, it's either going to go on the ground or through the air, right? I mean, that's the only service they have. Also included transborder shipment. They're going to raise it just a little bit, Jason. How about 10% from UPS starting on January the 3rd? But don't worry, this is just going to be a surcharge. So it's going to be added to your bill. They already have surcharges on diesel fuel, air fuel, and any of the 10 delivery surcharges UPS can impose. Wow.
A fancy word for tax.
10 different surcharges, just so they can say, well, the price to ship the package is only $15. Then you go and you get your final bill and it's $30. Oh, well, those were just surcharges, Jason.
Yeah. Anytime you declassify, you go to the store or anything in life, you buy it, you're buying that thing. But one way they try to hide inflation is like, well, it's not my fault. Look, it's a surcharge. Oh, there's a gas fee. They're trying to show you why it's not their fault. The prices are going up. That shows a very bad problem, Joe. I think we got to have.
Well, you know what? And again, you bring up a really good point. UPS and everyone that's doing it. That's exactly what they're trying to show you. Hey, it's not our fault.
It's not our fault.
It's not our fault. I mean, oil's back to $76 a barrel. It's not our fault, right? Hey, it's not our fault that the cost of the cardboard box has gone up. It's not our fault that the jet fuel and the diesel fuel that we got to put in the trucks has gone up. It's not our fault that we've got to pay our workers more money because the price of everything has gone up. And now you end up with, I love that. Hey, we got, what was it, 11 different surcharges?
Yeah. When you get your plates, Joe, here in Colorado, because of Tabor, they can't raise taxes without it being voted on. Everything's a fee. So when you go and pay for your plates, then they send you the receipt and the little the paper tag, the sticker that you put on the license plate. There's like this laundry list, like 25 or 30 things listed on there that you're paying for. That's not the plates. It's like, hey, we're not. It's not more taxes on your car. It's a fee for this and a fee for that.
It's just
and a fee for this. Yeah.
It's just a fee. Well, again, too, and I'm wondering, and here's what I've always thought about, because the surcharge, it's just like, remember the airlines, right? All of a sudden, they started charging you for luggage.
Yep.
Right? And I was like, what?
Isn't that a part of the ticket to begin with?
You're going on a plane. That in itself says, hey, I've got to have clothes because I'm going somewhere where I don't live. That always was part of the price. Oh, well, no, well, not. Oh, wait, you want to check a bag? Oh, well, that's $50. How about choosing the seat? Right. Well, here's the price of the crappiest seats we can give you. The ones that have no space, no leg room, and are right near the toilet. That's the advertised price. Then when you go in there and they're like, well, wait a minute, do you want to sit in an aisle or a window? Oh, well, that's an extra price, right? You want to sit in the business class where we give you an extra 2 inches, right? That's a fee, right? And I guess it's everywhere. But my issue is these fees started, 15 years ago or so?
Yep.
20 years ago or somewhere in that time frame. The last 15 or 20 years, the fee thing is new. Why do I get the feeling that the central bank, uses the price before the fees as their way of tracking inflation. Why do I get that feeling?
Yeah.
Why do I get the feeling that these big businesses were helped out by the central bank of, hey, you know what, here's a great way to do price increases. Just add a fee. That way, we can tell everybody there's no inflation. I don't know that, but man, Jason, it sure seems like that's the case.
And do you tax the fees? If there's no taxes on the fees, maybe that keeps it a little cheaper for the consumer. I mean, I'm sure there's all these little loopholes to jump through, but it also makes me think, Joe, that bigger companies, the prices of everything going up, well, they got to keep that percentage of profit to go up with it. So that's kind of a way to also hide it. Because we have Thiebaud T. He's just going to raise the price. He's going to say, hey, well, my shipping is the main reason why things are going up. He's not going to say, here's a shipping fee. He's just going to raise the price, and it's the cost of doing business. But the more fees and things that you put on the list of things you're paying for kind of hides the fact that they're probably grabbing a little extra profit there too, Joe. Hey, we got to keep our margins good.
Oh, yeah, that's absolutely right. That's a great way to help your margin with and keeping Jay Powell happy at the same time. When we get back, I've got the best special, I can't say of the year, but the best special of this month for sure coming up next. And we're going to talk housing prices. And you tell me if it sounds familiar. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe Jaquint, Jason Walker. We got gold up 4 right now, 18.12. So gold's sitting right there, getting ready to break out. We've been talking about this 1820 level all week, and actually for the last week and a half, 2 weeks here. It close above there. I think that just takes us back to the 1870 where we were before the fake. I don't want to call it a fake sell. The sell off after Jay Powell was going to get renominated. That one. And then really, quite honestly, I think this is it. When we're looking at what's going to happen as we go into next year, things are really starting to get ugly. You don't have companies, and I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this, almost 20 years. And normally when you see a price increase over, 3 to 4%, 2 to 5%, heaven forbid, crazy stuff was like, hey, we're going to raise prices 6%, 7%. We saw that in 2021. I mean, almost universally throughout the board. I mean, how many times did Procter & Gamble raise prices last year? How many times did Coca-Cola, Campbell's, right, you name it? How many times did they raise prices? And all of them raised prices 2 and 3 times, sometimes more. And now we're getting into 2021. Look at what the numbers were. As high as 20%. I've never heard of such a thing. That doesn't happen. Right? Prices don't go up 20%. And now this is what we're seeing. And even the cheap ones. Oh, we're going to raise prices 6 to 7%. But all of the ones that were down, down at that number, all said the same thing. Oh, no, by the way, we got more coming. We're going to start here, but we got more coming. And Jason, I think that's a very, very clear indication of what's really going to happen. We started to doubt the Federal Reserve for a while. They are absolutely clueless. The fact of the matter is inflation in this country is actually going to get much worse. Just like I told you. Look at crude oil today. Crude oil is back over $76. Listen, we're releasing millions of barrels out of our strategic oil reserve right now. Just in a bad attempt at trying to keep prices down. This is the time of year where normally crude oil inventories build. We should be seeing millions of barrels, not millions of barrels, but let's call it as millions of barrels a week. Really. 2 and 3 million barrel a week builds during the winter time. That's what we're supposed to see, because when everything thaws out, right, demand picks up again, right, the birds are chirping, all that stuff, and you needed to have that buildup. We have no buildup this year, Jason. I'm going to tell you right now, crude oil prices in the high 70s is going to look awfully inexpensive come next year. And Jay Powell and all of his cronies are absolutely powerless. These banks are in big trouble. I'm just telling you right now, none of this math works. The math doesn't work. Look at home prices. Home prices, hey, they're at least slowing down, according to Case Shiller, who does the best. Right? He's of all the home indexes, his is the most accurate. They only rose 18.41% year over year in the Case Shiller index. And I only bring it up because remember right now the central bank is still telling us shelter is, this is a high number for them, 3.4%. And the realities are everything is much worse, but isn't this familiar? Who's the cities at the top? Oh, let's see. Oh, up there's Phoenix. Who was at the top last time? Oh, yeah, Phoenix. Oh, there's Tampa. There's Miami. Oh, wait, there's Las Vegas. There's San Diego. There's Dallas. Very familiar names. The last time we had that big housing bubble, right, Jason?
Absolutely, Joe. Absolutely. And if we had the markets down 20 to 30%, which is where they really are, they are actually crashing, there'd be chaos in the news cycle. It'd be crazy. But inflation, well, people are just unfamiliar. Well, we don't really understand what's going on. Well, it's a market crash. If your stocks don't keep up, and except for like 5 to 15 stocks, Joe, except for those big ones that are holding up the whole Ponzi scheme, the markets would be in deep, deathly territory, and we'd have panic right now. And as inflation gets worse and worse, and it takes more and more away from you, I think people will slowly figure it out. It's like, it doesn't really matter if my stock goes up 2% in the first quarter. I'm losing 10 or 15 or 20% on everything else I'm buying. That's a crash, man. You have to spend more money for everything around you, and your little investments aren't going up at all. That's a problem, Joe.
It's a big problem. In 2022, I think we're going to hear the things that the last time this thing all came undone. I don't have enough money to pay it. Get ready to hear that again. Already now, heating bills starting to come in. I saw a number now, 20% of people said they don't have enough money to pay the heating bill because they weren't ready, right? Oh, because, groceries are more expensive. Putting gas in my car is more expensive. I don't have the money to go around. We're going to start seeing more and more and more of that occurring in 2022. Wages are rising at the fastest pace in decades, and it's just not fast enough, Jason.
Absolutely. And I've had a few people say, well, gold and silver's not really doing much. Is that really a good place to be putting this? And I say, absolutely. It just doesn't move the same way everything else is moving. And in May of just last year, 18 months ago, May and June, you had silver at like $15, $16, $17 an ounce. Well, $15, $16 versus $23 an ounce, that's significant from just last year. And it's getting ready to boost up again, and it keeps, it doesn't, sometimes, Joe, the way 2021 went, it doesn't seem like gold and silver is doing its job, but it's, it will. It's going to continue to perform the way it always does, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, they bought themselves a year by lies. That's all they did. And the tide's getting ready to come out, and I'm sorry, but Jay Powell doesn't got any pants on, and nobody wants to see that. When we get back, the best special of the month coming up next. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Before the break, Jason was talking about, gold's not doing his job, right? And you hear that that you'll hear that from the mainstream media guys and all that. And here's the realities in all of that. If there was going to be no inflation, because remember, go back to December of 2020. Really, I think it was more of November 2020. That's what Jay Powell said. There's going to be no inflation because of all the money we spent. So therefore, gold did its job, right? Which was, well, okay, we're not gonna keep rallying, right? We hit all-time highs. We're going to take a time out because the guy says there's going to be no inflation. Then, of course, the narrative changed. And he said, well, it's going to be transitory. And what happened? At first, gold was like, okay, I'm just going to hang out here. Remember, gold was, in the 1700s. Even got down to, like 1670. As this transitory, it really took through almost all of the summer before people started going, wait a minute, maybe not. Right? And we had gold starting to rally, got, back into the 1700s, got to the 1800s. Remember, we were in that range of 1770 to 1830 for 3-4 months as everyone was trying to decide. And then, of course, Jay Powell retired transitory gold. Boom, gold's going to 1900. And then, of course, they take the legs out of it with this nonsense about how he's still going to be the Fed governor come February, and that's going to be great news. Well, guess what? That news is over. Because everybody's like, well, wait a minute, is that great news? Right? And we're setting ourselves up, and I'm just telling you, the place that we can afford it the least, at the grocery store and the gas pump, it's going to get much worse. And I think we're going to see this scenario, Jason, where all of a sudden, again, people are going to realize, oh, wait a minute, these guys, they're wrong again. And we're going to see the next move in gold. And we're going to see gold back above 2,000, we're going to see new all-time highs. But we're going to probably see gold. I really thought that we wouldn't see gold below 2,000 again. But I think, and this is really the holdup here, I think they all know. All the traders know. Everybody knows. When gold breaks the next time, that's probably the last time until some type of new money of some sort that we're going to see a gold price below $2,000 an ounce. And we're going to have to get used to a gold price that's going to be a lot closer to $3,000 an ounce. And that's just short term, because I think longer term it's going even higher. I've got $120 gold pieces. Right now, as gold keeps moving here, $2,115 is the price. But today I've got them on sale. We bought an estate. We finally got that deal done. $2,050 today on $20 gold pieces. These are Liberties, the older ones, 1866 to 1907. That's $65 less. And really, when you think about it, the last time we got to that 2050 level, we were talking about gold at 1740, and now we're talking about gold trying to break through 1820 and make that run. And I think we're going to see that here really soon. I think we're going to see gold break 1820. We're going to see $1,900 gold. At least I think before January is over, Jason.
I think you're right, and also I would see in 2022 when it breaks through, and who knows what highs it will get to. It'll depend on how much the emergency is. But I would say 1900 might be a floor, Joe, just because that was the old high in 2011. I could see that as a new floor. But you're right. Once it breaks through, it's going to break through significantly. It ain't coming back to 1700, 1800. That's going to be gone. Yeah,
those prices are gone, and they know it, and I get it. So when they sit there and say, hey, gold didn't do its job, it did, because the job you were telling gold was there wasn't going to be inflation, or it was going to be transitory. Remember, Wouldn't it be great if I was out here today telling you Nabisco, Campbell's Soup, that Procter and Gamble, that General Mills, that Kraft Heinz, they were all lowering prices 10%?
Yep. Yeah, that would be good.
But that's not what happened. Nope, they're saying, listen, as much as 20%. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think we'll be lucky if that's as high as it gets. 800-951-0592. Listen, you don't get, and everybody knows this, you don't get when we run gold on sale, you're saving 10, 20, a good sale, maybe you're saving $25 because margins on gold are tight. Very rarely do we run a sale where we're saying, hey, you're going to be $65 less. That is huge. That price is a price that, quite honestly, I don't see gold being anywhere close to $1,740 again. So take advantage of it. $2,050 on $20 gold pieces. And here's the great thing. You want to do 100 grand? We got it, no problem. 800-951-0592. And just start watching as this narrative every month now. The narrative is going to keep changing and not in the direction that Jay Powell wanted to. This puts a lot of pressures on the bank. If they really have to start fighting inflation, it's going to get really interesting for these banks. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. We have a line open, $20 gold pieces. This is the sale of the month by far. Save $65 today, $2,050 for a $20 gold piece at 800-951-0592 if you're new. You've been listening for a while, and you're nervous. I'm afraid to call. Don't be afraid. Listen, the girls here are the nicest. They're going to give you great customer service, and it's so easy. You just call the 800 number and just say, I want the special. And ready, we're going to give you one really hard question. How many would you like? And just tell us. I want 1. I want 5. I want 10. Whatever it may be. And then we're going to get you a total. We're going to take, obviously, your name and address if we need to ship it to you. We charge $35 shipping. It's a flat $35. Doesn't matter how many you buy. It's $35. If you want to pick it up in either of our offices, we have an office here in Phoenix. We got an office in Johnstown and Colorado. If you pick up, you save the $35. You can pay for it with a personal check. You can pay cash when you pick it up. If you want to use credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express, we do charge 2%, which is way cheaper than everybody else. 2% fee on credit cards. But it's just that simple. And before you're done on the phone, we give you a trade number that locks your price, and you're locked in. If tomorrow gold breaks 1820, and let's just say tomorrow gold jumps $40, you're locked in. You get the $2,050 price, and it works the other way too. Hey, gold falls $10 tomorrow. You're still paying the $2,050 price. But, Jason, at that price, I mean, gold would have to fall like $50, $60 before we'd be back at that price. That's what makes it such a great deal today.
Absolutely. Great deal. The good old days. We're in another situation. This is the good old days of buying gold. And you could have bought these gold pieces for in 2019 for $1,250 to $1,350. That was kind of the range we were in early in that year. That was the good old days. And it's funny how the good old days is now 2 years ago. It used to be the good old days of buying gold was 5 years or 10 years ago. Now it's 2 years ago. By the time 2022 and 2023 come rolling around, the good old days of prices on gold could be 6 months ago. So this is a great time to buy. It's almost just like Joe Biden in his speech last Tuesday. Sort of like your last chance to get vaccinated because things are getting ready to change. He's almost threatening the American public. That's where we're at with gold. This is another one of those stages, Joe, where this price range for a $20 gold piece that's going away. Just like in 2019, you could have bought one of these for $1,300.
Yeah, and we're sitting here watching and seeing all of this play out. I wonder how high the number's going to get. Are we going to see a Federal Reserve where they print a double-digit inflation number, especially with these, ridiculous, things that they do to the data? And despite all of their best efforts to hide the truth from us, it's here. I've never, and like I said, I've been doing this a long time. I've never, ever heard of supermarket companies, these mass producers, announcing 20% price hikes. That's unheard of. That doesn't happen. But that just tells you the pressure. Things are getting worse. Things are getting worse. And all of a sudden, hey, 5%'s not enough. 10%'s not enough. How about 20%? My fear is, what's the number after 20%? 50? Patriot Radio News Hour, 800-951-0592. God bless.